I do believe 2024 is going to be a separation season of people that are either going to be brave or they're going to hide and be weak, and that is not going to serve them or anybody around them well. So I want to encourage you and how to do that. Welcome back to another episode of the Brave Today podcast. The show is going to encourage, challenge, maybe even provoke you to step outside of your comfort zone and take more action to better improve yourself and your health. Happy New Year. 2024 is here. I always think about this time of year. My grandfather used to tell me when I'd go to visit him when he was getting older, he said, Mark, and I'd say, hey, how's it going? He's like, you know what? The days feel like hours. The weeks feel like days. The months feel like weeks, and the years, they feel like just a month. Time, basically what he was saying is goes by really fast. And I think he was also trying to let me know to not waste it, because time does go by really, really quick. As I see the gray show up on my beard more and more, it reminds me just how important it is to take the time that you have today to move forward. And that truly is the goal of the show. The show is going to encourage and challenge and maybe even provoke you to step outside your comfort zone and take more action to better improve yourself and your health. Now, listen, this world is crazy, upside down. They want you to be softer and weaker and sicker and unhealthier and more dependent than ever. My goal is to help you navigate through this so that you can become braver today than you were yesterday, regardless of how old or how young you are. And you're listening now. I know we have a lot of different ages, probably most around my age, but I know some that are a little older, maybe some a little younger. And listen, I want you to know I'm very grateful. And if you do like the show, all I ask in return is that you share it with somebody. You can just copy the link and share it. We're on Spotify as well as on Apple Podcast as well as YouTube. So if you want to watch, although it's just mainly me talking here, unless we have a guest, the YouTube is available as well. So if you're a YouTuber, you can go watch that. If you do more podcasts or if you have Spotify, you can listen to it there. Well, listen, we have a couple of different types of shows. We do interviews. We do a Brave Q&A where I answer questions that you have and that you send in. A lot of the same questions come up, but I know maybe you're new to the show, or maybe you just need a reminder about some of the questions that you might have and you really know the answer, but you just maybe, oh, you know what? I know I need to do that more. Also, we have a show called The Flavor of the Day, and that's where I discuss latest news, health, fitness. You know, it is a New Year's, new year, new me, resolutions. We're going to be talking about that today. Today is a Flavor of the Day. I'm going to actually share with you really how to win and really to win to play. And I'll get into winning to play in just a moment. And then lastly, we're doing what's called a breakthrough episode, where I dive deeper into an area, maybe physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. This might actually be a combination of the Flavor of the Day and the breakthrough episode. Basically, any area that's holding you back to provide insight and guidance to help you have a breakthrough on your personal health and fitness journey. Listen, the majority of my life, better part of 30 years, I've been helping people on a healthier path and changing the direction that they're on, chasing down goals, big goals, scary goals. And if you have one of those, you have to know that it is very important, especially this time of year, to really understand what it is you're trying to achieve, who is going to help you get there, where you're trying to go, when you want to get there, and how. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But the name of the game here is winning to play. I know you've heard this before. Sorry. And I'm in my makeshift podcast room office. We are in the process of moving in. This is in our new house. And I'm in between. So you might have seen I'm in a different location. I'll be setting up shop. We have a basement redoing. I'll be actually designing and building out a whole podcast. I'm trying to figure out my microphone here as well. So again, I'm not an expert on this, but I do know that I have a voice and I want to share with you the knowledge and wisdom and the experience that I've had, again, so that it can help you become braver today than you were yesterday. I do believe 2024 is going to be a separation season of people that are either going to be brave or they're going to hide and be weak, and that is not going to serve them or anybody around them well. So I want to encourage you and how to do that. You've heard the phrase play to win, right? You know, you play to win. You want to win, you got to play. But I want to actually take that one step further. So play to win, but why do you want to win? That's the big question. Why, like in this year, do you want to win? Now, you might have set some lofty goals for yourself to maybe lose some weight. Maybe you want to stop smoking, stop drinking, stop partying. Maybe you want to make more money. Maybe you have some specific fitness goals you want to achieve. Maybe you want to do a competition. Maybe you just don't want to have aches and pains. Maybe you want to be able to still be active and fit and move, just like my dad, who might be listening, who turned 81 on December 31st. He's a New Year's baby. And we got talking and he told me how many thousands of miles he put on his bike in the past year. Now, mind you, again, that doesn't happen just by happening. He didn't just decide to get on a bike and go for a ride. Well, he did sort of, but he has been planning, has been working on that for a while. So anyway, hats off to my dad as well. 81 years old, still getting out there, getting in nature, getting on his bike and moving and playing to win, right? And here's the thing, he had to take action. He had to decide for himself he's going to sit back and let life go and let the world go, just as you're thinking maybe right now in your moment of thinking, oh my gosh, it's a new year and I want to lose weight. I want to make more money. I want to do so many things. I want to travel. I don't want to die. I want to have a healthy, fit family. I want to not be in the hospital. I want to have surgeries, those types of things. Maybe one or all those things are crossing your mind right now. And the only way that you can get through that is you got to think that you're going to win. You got to think that you're going to win, and you got to win by playing. In other words, you got to take action, right? The bottom line is if you're listening to me, chances are maybe you were inspired, encouraged, maybe you saw a post. The only reason why you saw that post was because I took action to share something with you. The only reason why I'm doing this podcast is I said last year I wanted to start a show. I noticed social media and social marketing, that sort of thing really wasn't, as far as like for a voice, a lot of the stuff was kind of throttled back, and the freedom of speech isn't so free anymore. So I had to look at other directions. Okay, do I have something still to say? Yes. Well, how am I going to get it to people? So that's where behind the scenes, I had to take action, right? In order for me to do the things that I achieved in this past year, just as you did. I'm sure you probably have a handful of things that you achieved in this past year, favorable things, things that maybe benefited you, your family, your finances, your health, so forth. And the only reason why you did that is because you took action. Now, the reason why you took action is where I actually want to dial in, and that's winning to play. Now, I can tell you this year, I was reflecting back, and you might have heard my review, 2023 review in the last podcast. And it wasn't to brag. It really was to inspire. And I had to think back for myself, because as I'm looking ahead into the new year, and even today, looking forward to the next day and the next day, it's easy to forget what you've accomplished. It's easy to just kind of bypass or really quickly overlook the things that you've been able to achieve. And I want you, before you go into this new year, before you get kind of jumping into the new year, new me mindset, and you start setting goals and you start cleaning out your refrigerator and getting rid of all the junk and getting out and exercising and sweating and, doing more active things you did all last year. Before you go doing that, I want you to know that first off, well done. Like, taking action is the most important thing, but you need to know why you're taking action. So you're taking action to play, winning to play. Why do you want to win in your health? Why do you want to win? No matter what age you are, no matter what goal you're trying to achieve, because you want to play, enjoy, have fun. I know life's not all about having fun, but playing. Like for me, I think of the best moments, the most exciting moments this past year were a lot of things that had to do with me being able to play, doing an Everest event, climbing up a mountain, right? Going to Switzerland and going hiking, doing some fun trips, going snowboarding with my family. And you might not have any of those goals for yourself, but chances are you have some goals that involve playing. Maybe you want to get down on the ground with your grandchildren and play. I know we have a number of students in our Brave coaching program that they want to be more active. They want to get their kids, their teenagers out. They want to get their family members out and about. Those are some of the biggest wins that we saw this year. And it is truly comes down to winning to play. So I want you to think about, how do you want to play this year? Like, how do you want to win? But why do you want to win? I want to go over 5 things real briefly with briefly with you. I want to go, not real briefly. I want to go over 5 things to consider when it comes winning to play. Now, first off, you have to know your why, right? So we're not really here to get into that. And in fact, I want to share with you really quick. If you notice behind me over in the corner, you're probably wondering, what the heck is that thing over there? It looks like a calendar. It's actually my big ass calendar 2024. And the big ass calendar, I can't take credit for that. Actually, I got it all the other day. Big ass calendar. Jesse Eitzer, who actually he is an entrepreneur, and I started following him for a while. He's actually the one that came up with 29029, which is the Everesting event. So got connected again. You find your community, you find your people. And you find people that, again, the way I've learned over the years is you find people that are aspiring to you or inspiring to you. And you want to aspire to be like them, but your own person. Well, Jesse has this thing every year and he actually fills it out. Now you notice it's not filled out, the blue and white. I still have to fill it out. In fact, they give me a bunch of these that come with it, which is awesome. I don't get any proceeds from this, but they give you stickies and I'm going to fill up as soon as they get unpacked. I'm going to fill up that year with the things that I want to accomplish. And I highly recommend you can go get one of these calendars or you can just go write it out in a journal. You can have a dream board or a vision board, right? Whatever you call it. And you can build out the things that you want to do in 2024. Now, once you've done that, then there's 5 things that you're going to need in order to be successful. And I just briefly talked about it earlier on. And it's first, who? Who? And you're like, what do you mean? Who? Like who? Who are you going to be in 2024? That's the question. Who are you going to be in 2024? Are you going to be somebody that just sits back on the sidelines, that plays victim, who's just going to let life kind of come as it is? Or are you going to be intentional about every day that you're given? God gives you a day. What are you going to do with your day? So you got to understand first, who do you want to become in 2024? Now, if you're just happy being you, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to aspire to things. You can kind of let life go and stuff. But I've met plenty of those people. I, for one, I'm not really attracted to that kind of lifestyle. That's not for me. If you're listening, chances are it's probably not for you. It's hard actually to chase down your dreams and goals and to aspire to bigger things. But you got to know first, who do you want to become? And yes, with all the kind of stuff that's going on in the world and the news and all that kind of stuff, it's easy to lose track or get distracted with who you want to become when you're looking at what everybody else is doing, right? So I want you to actually dial in on who do you want to become in the new year. Number 2 is what are you going to do? What? The who we just talked about. Now the what. What are you planning to do in this new year? It requires some planning, right? Well, what are you going to do? I have a calendar right there. I know for a fact I will fill that thing up pretty quick. A couple things I'll just share with you. I try to plan one big, hairy, scary goal for the year for myself. This past year was everything, although there was 2 because I also jumped out of an airplane, which I wasn't necessarily planning to do. My son, on the last day of his 19th birthday on July 3rd, 2023, he and I jumped out of an airplane, skydived. We were both afraid of heights. It was amazing. And I would definitely probably do it again. That wasn't even on my radar or calendar. The Everest event was. But really cool thing is you have to actually decide what you're going to do. If you have no idea like how to lose weight, how to get in shape, then you're going to decide, well, I need to get some help, right? That'll come in just a moment. But let me not get too far ahead of myself. So what you're going to do, you got to decide. Now, you might not have some big event, but maybe you want to lose 50 pounds. Maybe you want to do your first marathon. Maybe you have a new grandchild coming in, your first grandchild, and you'd like to very much be a part of their life. And you know you need to be active. You want to be able to get down on the ground. So maybe you having full mobility to be able to do that. Maybe you don't have that right now. Maybe you just don't have any good endurance. Maybe you're huffing and puffing, going up and down your stairs. Although I was huffing and puffing the other day, carrying all the furniture upstairs. Oh my gosh, it was hard. Thankfully, I have a 20-year-old. He's way stronger than me. But just what is it that you want in this next year? You got to know what you want and then want it. Like actually not just be like, yeah, I kind of want to lose some weight. I kind of want to not, I want to do this. Like you can't be wishy-washy. You have to be decisive about it. Now, where do you want it? Like where? Like in other words, for me, we were planning to move. One of our big goals, which ended up being this last year, was moving from Florida to Colorado. That was our goal. That was one of the things that kind of evolved over the last like year and a half or 2. But maybe where? Maybe you want to go on a big trip. Maybe you're planning to move out of the current job that you're in because you're aspiring, you have something else that you'd love to do. Maybe you want to start up your own business, right? Where do you need to be in this next year? Where do you need to be? Think about that. And then you can literally create, the canvas is yours. You can create where you want to be in the next year. Now, I know I try now at 51, I'd like to be fitter this year than I was last year. I've had some ups and downs, definitely had a great year at 50. I definitely believed I was at my best physical conditioning at 50 than I was in any other years that I've ever been alive. I'm going to try to do that again. Now, maybe it's relative because of my mind. I'm thinking, hey, I really worked hard, but I've never exercised more than I've done in the last year. And I'm starting off this year as well. One of the things I did last year, which really served me, and it also served my wife, we started 75 Hard, which is a mental toughness program. It's not a weight loss program. It's essentially to help you develop more mental toughness. I do believe it's very easy to lose it. It's something that Andy Frisella, creator of 75 Hard, will say, your fitness is something that will go away if you don't continue to pursue it. It's a perishable skill. So health and fitness is a perishable skill. You don't just lose 50 pounds and then you're free to do whatever you want the rest of your life. You actually have to pursue the kind of lifestyle that's going to keep you healthy and fit. And that is a perishable, also self-discipline. And it's easy to not be disciplined when you get older. It's easy to be distracted. It's easy to just be like, you know what? Everybody else at my age is older and out of shape and overweight and have big bellies on them. That's not for me. And I'm probably not for you either. So that's, where do you want to be? For me, I want to be fitter this year by my next birthday, 51, than I was at 50. Next year at 52, whoo, see, I told you, just like I said earlier, time is going by. I just called myself 50. I'm 51. I want to be fitter at 52 than I was at 51, right? I think that's the right age. It starts blending years after a while. Now, now you also have to decide, when do you want to achieve the goals you want to achieve? Now, for me, I have also a goal. Well, I'm not going to share it now. This is more about you. When do you want to achieve your goal? So let's just say, for instance, a lot of people come to me for coaching. They join our inner circle. We have a coaching program. If you want interest and information on that, you can shoot me a private message. Just let me know if you're interested. I can tell you more about it. But a lot of people come to us for weight loss. We have, like, based on the hundreds and hundreds of clients that my team and I have worked with, my amazing success coaches have helped transform hundreds and hundreds of lives. And over the last 30 years, for me, it's thousands. The key is, well, Mark, when can I get this weight off? Right? When can I get this weight off? Well, of course, you want to have a time frame to when you want to achieve something. So let's just say for us in our program, if you have over 50 pounds to lose, and we have maybe about 20, 30% of our students want to lose more than 50 pounds, but the journey is at least 6 months with us. And typically anywhere over 50 pounds is usually 6 to 12 month journey with us. So we know, based on the statistics and how our program works, the average weight loss in 6 months for somebody that needs to lose over 50 pounds, it's 57 pounds actually in 6 months. So we also know it's about 26 to 27 pounds in 3 months. So yes, you're like, well, it's 30 pounds in 3 months. How is it not another 30? Well, it becomes a little bit harder as you get in better shape, because you're also strength training, developing lean muscle. You're reconfiguring your body. You're transforming your body, which is the goal. That's what most women want when they come, and most men want, most people want when they're on a healthy fitness journey, is they don't want to just lose weight. They want to get strong. They want to have a tight body that looks good for their spouse, right? Or if they're divorced, their next spouse, or or a relationship. Regardless, there's nothing wrong with looking good, because when you're looking good and feeling good, you're going to actually have that confidence in yourself for all areas of your life. Also, a perishable skill. You have to develop a skill set to help you build confidence. And that's partly why we're doing the 75 Hard. And if you were to think that, Mark, or you just seem like you're real confident, it's a skill that I have to work. There's times where I feel like just a knucklehead. I feel like, man, I really, like, how did I do that again? I can't believe I let myself go. I can't believe I did this. And you can let those thoughts go, or you can reframe and discipline yourself. But you also have to set some time frames of when you need to do this. For us, my wife and I and my son, couldn't get my daughter to do it. 75 days of 2 workouts a day. There's 6 things we got to do. Take a selfie. We got to drink a certain amount of water. We have to read 10 pages, things that I actually got away from when I got out of doing 75 Hard. And I know that helped me build discipline. It's 75 days. So for me, I know that's 75 days. Now, how are you going to do it? This is like the big question. This is the last one, the biggest question. How are you going to be where you want to be a year from now? Like, how are you going to do that? Now, a lot of people like, I know what I need to do. This is what I hear all the time. Mark, I know what I need to do to lose weight. I know I need to get back in the gym and I need to clean out. I need to, right? I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. But then they don't do it because it's just easy not to. There's no accountability and there's no really structure or plan or support. Honestly, holding your ass to the fire to get the work done. Like, it takes a lot of discipline to do this, to do yourself a favor by getting into better shape, by winning to play in the new year, by playing to win for yourself. You have to take action to win. But if you don't know what to do, chances are you're going to be right back where you were last year and the year before that, and maybe 5 or 10 years before that. And I'm going to encourage you If you don't have the skill set, if you don't have the knowledge is a skill, but you got to apply it. You can know what to do, but if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. So what should you do? You should get help. Now, I'm only one person. We are focused in 2024 moving forward with helping families, entire families. We've seen so much success, not only in the women we've been serving and working with over the past year, but we saw the transformation that was happening behind the scenes with their family members. So we are on a mission to help 1 million families. You heard me right. This may not happen in a year, but one of my goals is to help 1 million families. I want to help 1 million families like you and your family to overcome the obstacles that get in the way of you being your personal best. It's truly something that really requires having a community. And I will give you a little sneak peek or just a little side note. We have something really special coming for you. I think you're going to enjoy, especially if you're one that's like, I'm just not like social media. I can't get on the Facebook and the Instagram, not even the YouTube. Well, I want to share with you something we've been working on behind the scenes, but I'm just going to tease you. It has to do with what's up here, not in here, what's up here, right across there. So be on the lookout. More to come on that. We'll be sharing. I don't want this to be a plug on me. Really, just more importantly, you want to find your community of people. You could do it on your own, but it's really hard. It's a lot harder to do it on your own than to be around other like-minded people with similar values on a similar journey. I'll tell you what, and you can learn from others. There's a lot behind the scenes outside of what my coaches and I do to help our students, but there's a lot of other students that are helping other people in our program succeeding. And it's truly amazing. It truly comes down to being a part of a bigger community to help lean on, to help offer, to help serve. And that's what it's all about. Well, listen, that's all I have for today's show. I just wanted you guys to know how much I appreciate you. My goal, one of my goals, is to have at least 3 podcasts per week, 3 shows that I come out per week. We might change up the type of shows. I have some people that I have lined up for interviews. Maybe my dad's listening right now. Maybe we can get my dad on here. It'd be awesome to hear kind of old school, new school about getting in shape. And you'd be surprised at how much similarities there are than differences. But listen, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the show. Sincerely appreciate you. And if you enjoyed the episode, like I mentioned earlier on, I don't do any advertising on the show. I'm not going to, so that I can say and share what I feel and how I like. But if you do, all I ask to support us to subscribe to the show and also to share it with your friends. And then also, if you want to stay up to date with the Brave Today show, like I mentioned, you can go on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all those types of things. I'm on all those. I don't know for how long, but right now I am. So you can find me on all those. Reach out, send me a message, and appreciate you. Take care and have a blessed day.